Alright, alright, hey, hi, hello, welcome. So, this is for mutable signs. Mutable signs are Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces. What I did was I had this idea. I was like, ooh, I feel like going through the modalities. But I was like, how do I pick a modality to go through? I was like, oh, I'll roll a d4. So I rolled a d4. Let's see if I get the same number. Nope. But I got the number three. Three meant mutable signs. If it was the number four that I went with, I would have went through by element. So the SKT is the significators, and the I got three of the Pride Tarot cards, and then one of the affirmators, and we're just gonna see like what's up right now. If this is something that I do frequently, I've already decided that like if next time I come to do this and I roll another three, it'll be mutable signs again. We let fate decide. And so I'm using the Angel, which is the Temperance card in this deck, because in the SKT, you can see she has all the mutable signs on her sash. Maybe you can see it. She got the mutable signs on her sash. And so since this is the Sagittarius card, I pulled the Knight of Wands, which for me is mutable fire Sagittarius. Uh, so for the other ones, I had the Lovers for Gemini, the Hermit for Virgo, and the Hanged. Whoa, hold up. I guess we're going with it. Well, no, because it's literally right here. Look, bottom of the deck, Seven of Swords, boom, right there, the Necromancer. Maybe that's why the Necromancer came out at the bottom. Let's go ahead and fix that real quick. And then we'll put the Outlaw back in between the Archangel of Glory and the Rogue. Why is that like? Because before it was this energy of like hiding whatever this light is would be sort of cheating us out of whatever it can bring us, right? But with the outlaw here, now it feels like not like it's almost like guilty pleasure type energy. And maybe there's some like shame that some Pisces might have to work through around what it is that they want or what it is that they want to go after. Or maybe not shame, maybe it's just doesn't follow the trajectory that you maybe thought you would have followed in the past or that someone else wants you to follow. So anyway, I'm going to timestamp this really quick and we're going to get right into mutable signs. I may not pause this one. I might just run full through since I'm not going to pull any cards off the table. So we're going to say that this starts at 250. So for all my mutable sign peoples, wherever y'all got Gemini, Sagittarius, Virgo, or Pisces, if you don't have it and you still want to watch, maybe you have, you can look and see what astrological house those signs cusp. Let's say your fifth house starts in Virgo. Then you could listen in to the Virgo part, maybe when it comes to like the element of creativity or how you express yourself in your life, right? Potentially. Or if this isn't like relevant, maybe you just watch like the general and then like the breakdown, you just let go. I don't know. Y'all know how to watch. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Don't try to force anything to fit. And let's just dive right in. I feel like starting with this energy. So, in the center, we have the Knight of Cups. Mutable water, Pisces. So, we're starting with Piscean energy. Um, so, mutable signs with the Knight of Cups, this is all about moving forward with an element of the heart, but also it's feeling really dreamy. It's feeling like an opportunity to come into something, but a need to be open to it. I don't know what these are yet or what this card is, but it's like the things that we've been going after, hopefully we're open to receive. So we also have the moon, which is interesting, and the Ace of Wands. And this is interesting because in the moon card in the Witch's Tarot, which I love, she actually holds the Ace of Wands. Um, So here's the moon, the card that I literally just switched out, swapped out with the moon and the ace of wands. I feel like your ability to accomplish whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish right now, your ability to make manifest whatever dream you're trying to make manifest right now, is going to be dependent on your ability to hold true to the vision, regardless of when it comes in or not, right? We have the energy of Mercury and Jupiter. Mercury Mercury can be the energy of like connections, like knowing someone who knows someone, or having a foothold, or is it a foothold? Yeah, having a foothold into the arena, and through like those connections being granted access to something. Jupiter kind of sort of puts you in the spot to expand in that way itself. So in general, like there's this overall message that mutable energy right now needs to hold fast to what it is that it would project out into the world, where mutable energy could typically kind of sort of downplay one's own self for the sake of others. Or it's just the fact that there's this ability to hold different perspectives, right? Because mutable signs are the relators, they're the connectors, they're the in-betweeners. But I feel like it's going to be really important for you to stand strong or stand true to what it is that you kind of sort of want to bring out into the world right now. And to do so wholeheartedly, right? Both butt cheeks, not just one. And then we have the Two of Cups. So I guess if that Knight of Cups wasn't about a love offer before, it could be about a love offer now. But the Two of Cups here, to me, it just talks about sort of reciprocity. And again, this is something that hopefully you're open to. Also with these, excuse me, it could be the case that like you were holding the candle in the dark for something that you didn't think was going to come to pass. But it's almost this energy of like your prayers were just answered. Or they were probably answered a minute ago, but it's just now catching up to you, like right now. And so hopefully you'll be open to receiving whatever it is. Also, with the Ace of Wands in this deck, there is this energy of sort of creating within oneself what one wishes to see because of the lizard. I can't remember the species of lizard, but it's an all-female species of lizard, and so they kind of sort of do like self replication, and they're probably one of the few animal species to do that, especially ones that like don't live underwater or something like that. I don't know. Like worms. I guess worms are animals. I don't know if they self-replicate. I don't think they do, but some animals can self-replicate if they have to. But yeah. So that's it for like this is supposed to be general, and then it filters down into each one. So let's move right on to Gemini. Yeah, I am gonna end up pausing these just so I can get the timestamp a little better. All right, let's get right into Gemini. Yeah, the reason why I decided to pause is because then I don't have to like you don't have to hear me go, this is the time, and then I gotta like wait for it to whatever. Sorry, Gemini, you don't need to know all that. So Gemini, I'm assuming you watched the overall. If you didn't watch the overall, I feel like for Gemini energy, this could be like getting something out of your head and out into the real world. Could be something that you've talked about a lot, almost like birthing a brainchild type of energy, but maybe you couldn't do it yourself. So hopefully you've made some pleasant connections and you have some bridges that aren't built, that aren't burned. Even if they need to sort of be like maintained, or if it's been a while since they've been in use, I'd say go ahead and maybe reach out if you know someone who can help you out with something right now, because they may also be looking for something to do, you know? So you actually only got two of the Pride Tarot cards. In your two cards, it's the Four of Wands and the Four of Swords and the Six of Wands, sorry. The Four of Swords and the Six of Wands. I feel like this is victory that comes through like calm, mental calmness and clarity. In this deck, there's an element of nature when it comes to the Four of Swords. And so maybe you want to get outside in some fresh air, interact with your element a little bit. Or maybe you've been in a period of anxiety about something, and it's almost like you've gotten yourself worked up to the point where you can't see that a solution may be right in front of you. But it's almost like if you could settle your mind enough for like maybe not even that long, then the answer would come to you, right? So let's say like you're racking your brain trying to think of how to get something off the ground, and you are like looking up this and looking that up and trying to get all these different like certifications and things like that, or trying to learn all of this information, but maybe you'll sort of have like an aha moment and be like, hey, like, wait, doesn't someone like actually do this? Like, let me just hit them up. Now, if this is about business, and it might be, um, I would say, make sure that if you're taking an idea to someone, that you maybe have it like patented or copyrighted, or that you trust them, um, and like know the difference between the different types of businesses, like LLPs, LLCs, um, and the other ones. What are not? Because I know the LL stands for limited liability. So, for example, let's say you go into business with someone and something happens, they're a little shady, and it blows up. If you're not in that limited liability, you'll be held like fully responsible for their actions. And that's what that LL sort of does. It mitigates the amount of damage that you take from someone else's uh, actions or misactions. And maybe that energy sort of applies in general, right? Not even in business. So let's say that there's something or someone that you're constantly dealing with, and by this point it's almost like more of a headache than it is anything else. And let's say that you have some kind of emotional tie to it, or you had always projected it, or a person or a job, it could be anything. Like there's some sense of stability that you have with it, but it's almost like at this point it's starting to maybe reach the point of detriment. And you may be realizing you may be disillusioned, right? I guess the Ace of Wands after the Moon card could be some disillusionment. Um, but it's this like it's internally sourced instead of like the sun coming out or the star. Like, I don't think this is necessarily something happening to give you this insight. I feel like this is an insight that you're going to give yourself when you decide to bring peace and calm and clarity into your own life. You actually got two of the affirmators, so your total number of cards still balanced out to the four. And you have the Hangman, and well, here's the sun. So maybe it is something external. I was just like, oh, well, it's not the sun. But the Hangman, which is interesting because that's the card I pulled for Pisces. And then I was like, oh, wait. And if you watched the general part, then you would know this. But if you didn't, I pulled the Hangman for Pisces. And I was like, oh, wait, no, Pisces is the moon. So let me go back and like redo that. And then the moon came out here. And I was like, oh, wow. So Piscean energy is kind of sort of coming for you too. But with the sun here, I feel like it's time for you to, it's almost like whatever this is that you're holding on to that's causing you to, it's not analysis paralysis, but it almost kind of sort of feels like it. I just think it's time for you to stop playing small. Honestly, with the Hangman and the Sun card, I feel like as soon as you decide to move, then the world will move with you, and your needs will be met. When you bring peace, and it's like I said, like when you hit that moment of clarity, I feel like the solution is going to come right in. But it may require you to cut yourself free from something. And like if you look at like how much stress something might cause you, I feel like this is a fairly easy choice to make. But again, there may be a certain element of attachment, or there may be a certain element of like, I don't know if I'll have like stability outside of this, or I've been hanging on to this for a minute. But I mean, here's the sun, there's the moon, but here's the hangman. That could also be the space of the eclipse, where the moon and the sun are sort of in the same place at the same time. And the moon and the sun being in the same place at the same time could speak on like your emotions being behind what you do moving forward. And that's also like the energy of the Knight of Pentacles, or Pentacles, the Knight of Cups, isn't it? Your heart being behind it. Gemini. We have full moon, lunar eclipse in Gemini at the end of this month, November 30th, I believe, before we have the solar eclipse on December 14th, I think. Um, Also, full moon Sagittarius was a lunar eclipse this year too. So the sun would have been in Gemini when that happened, before we moved into the Cancer solar eclipse. So something around the eclipse could be coming up for you. But ultimately, at the end of the day, I'd say that it's almost like your peace of mind is your greatest, or will be your greatest asset moving forward, because it's going to, like I said, give you the ability to see things clearly and to cut right to the heart of the matter and like quick solutions. So that's what I got for you, Gemini. I don't know, this is kind of weird. I hope it resonates. If it does, you're welcome. If it doesn't, maybe you'll come across something that does. I hope you have a good whatever whenever you see this, and I hope you're acting in alignment to make better your reality, because like I believe you can. Hey Virgo, welcome in. I already timestamped y'all. I was gonna do Sag first and then come to Virgo, but I put the timestamps and I put it in like zodiac order, so Virgo came first. So you're ahead of the game this time, Virgo. Virgo being ahead of Sagittarius, what could that mean? Well, the South Node is in Sagittarius right now. Sagittarius is the energy of expansion. Um, so it's almost like before you come into whatever it is that you're about to come into, there's still some stuff within yourself that you may be sort of working out, cleaning up, organizing. I was like, I don't want to say compartmentalizing, but compartmentalizing things isn't always necessarily bad. I feel like it's more about context, right? And there's a certain context that you may have been holding or seeing something from that put you in a position to almost not be all of who you are. But moving forward, I feel like you'll realize that maybe the time for doing yourself that disservice is over. So we'll see. You got 3 of these, and we're actually going to read these one by one this time. So your first card is the Wheel of Fortune. Well, look at that. Yeah, things are definitely turning around for you, Virgo. And that's Sagittarian energy through Jupiter. So it's kind of like, well, it's Jupiter, so it's kind of Sagittarius and Pisces. But I was like, y'all came out before Sagittarius. Wheel of Fortune. Before it turns, it's almost like you're greasing the wheel. And maybe you've been greasing everyone else's wheel for a minute. And Wheel, W-I-L-L. I was saying will. Wheel. You've been greasing everyone else's wheels. It's time for you to grease your own wheel. But a will can speak of inheritance. But a will is also like what burns at the core of who we are. Right? Thy kingdom come, thy will be done. Thy will be done is like the heart of what that faith is. May it be done down here. There's some heavy, like, I almost said sacral, but I want to say solar plexus. I meant to say solar plexus, but sacral popped into my mind. It could be both. Sacral can deal with intimacy. It can deal with when it's out of balance, maybe like a lack of vulnerability or a lack of creativity. It's almost like when your sacral is open, someone can just give you the materials and then you'd be able to assemble it. And like you're Virgo, so I feel like you'd be pretty good at assembling things in a way that kind of sort of makes practical sense, right? Like Pisces would assemble things in a way that like sounds good but isn't grounded in reality. Gemini, sorry, it's like I'm trying to think of Gemini assembling something and it's looking like a Picasso painting. Or Mr. Potato Head when he had like his body parts all mixed up. And when Sagittarius does it, I feel like it's it's almost Piscean, but it's more based on like hypothesis, right? So with Pisces, you're like, oh, this is like straight up fantasy. Like, what reality do you live in? With Sagittarius, I think it would sound good, but in reality it might like deviate a little bit from what the text says or what it was supposed to be. But with you Virgo, it's almost like you'll bring it in a way that makes like real life sense. And so maybe there's a need to take stock of what you want out of life, and maybe like what you want out of life beyond specifics, but it's like fairly general, but there's a solid direction. Um, yeah, let's see what's next, because things are about to turn for you, Virgo. The Eight of Cups is going to require you walking away. It's going to require you to start greasing your own wheels, Virgo. Eight of Cups is a Piscean energy. I don't remember what planet that is in Pisces. I know it's the first decan of Pisces. But it's interesting because its opposite would be the Eight of Pentacles, and the Eight of Pentacles is the first decan of Virgo. And with the Eight of Pentacles, it's something that you will continue to work on and something that you will continue to master, but the Eight of Cups is asking you to walk away. Now, in each respective suit, they both lead to something positive. The Nine of Pentacles being in a sort of self-sufficient physical state, like stability, maybe financial, even health, all that stuff. And the Nine of Cups, it's more of an element of fulfillment. And it's more of an element of like a dream or a wish coming true. But it isn't necessarily like I feel like the Nine of Cups dream coming true, it's one that gives you lasting fulfillment or prolonged fulfillment, right? Like let's say that there's something that you really, really, really want and then you get it and you're like, oh, okay, that was fun for like a day, 2 days, a week, 2 weeks, a month, but then you're on to the next thing, like real quick. I feel like it would have a little bit more of a lasting impact. And depending on how you sort of capitalize on that fulfillment, it could lead you to that like Ten of Cups energy. But before you can get all the way there, I feel like there needs to be this element of pulling your energy back to you. The Ace of Wands and the Moon card could be a hermit energy. That could be us finding that light internally in that space of reflection. that is the moon. And the moon reflects things, does it not? I mean, when it's not new, it reflects sunlight. And we're coming off of this Scorpio new moon, which is your sextile. So it brings you like opportunity. It's a favorable, harmonious aspect. Um, but again, I feel like it's almost coming through in the space of the things that you will begin to give to yourself and do for yourself instead of being so quick to do so much for other people. Um, and I feel like maybe Gemini had a similar energy, but maybe with mutable signs, it's like it's time for us or y'all to really start investing in and taking care of yourselves. The last card is wow. Speaking about Gemini, it's the Sun card. Gemini got the Sun in the Affirmators. You got the Sun in the Pride Tarot. So, like, when you begin to grease your own wheels, it's leading you to ultimate fulfillment with that Sun card. And I feel like the Sun card in this deck is about being all of who you are at the same time. And so I feel like there is going to be this need for you to show up as maybe that's the missing element. It's you. But it's like a piece of you or a part of you that maybe doesn't get too much shine. Maybe it's a piece or part of you that hasn't had the opportunity to shine because you can have the tendency to devote so much energy to other people around you. But it feels like the more you pour into yourself right now, the better things are going to be. And so if you're already in the process of doing that, I would say continue. Um, it's giving me like with the Eight of Cups and the Wheel of Fortune, it's giving me the energy of like a wind up toy. Pull string, right? When you pull the string and then it like, or a Beyblade, you let it rip. um, but then when you release it, that's when it moves. So you may be in a period of heavy release right now. But I don't think it's feeling too like I feel like it's feeling pretty good though. Honestly, I feel like as you release, you can feel things coming in, and if you don't feel anything coming in, there may be something for you to release. You got the Lovers. Here's some more Gemini energy for you. Now the Lovers could speak about love, and if this is about love, I would say that this is the end of like an old cycle, and the beginning of a new one with the Wheel of Fortune, the Eight of Cups, and the Sun card. Maybe there was a cycle of you giving in relationships more than you received, or a pattern of sort of excusing things or making excuses. And it doesn't only have to be romantic. I feel like this is any kind of relationship. I feel like maybe you haven't really given people the opportunity to be fairly sort of balanced in that. Um, Maybe it might also involve an element of you speaking on your needs. If you feel like your needs aren't being fulfilled or met in some way, speak it. Right? People can't address things that they don't know. Um, but I feel like I feel like it's more the energy of these choices and decisions um, that are more self focused. Choices and decisions that honor the self. Right? Because again, with this Sun card, especially in this deck, like I feel like it's all you. Every element, every aspect. Also, we have all seven colors, so there could be maybe you're working on balancing your chakras. You're doing some chakra clearing here, maybe at the heart, but also at the root. And then I guess I already talked about the sacral and the solar plexus, so let's just throw in the third eye, the crown, and the throat too. But those lower three plus the heart, because I feel like maybe sometimes there could be this energy of you defining yourself based off of what you do for others. And that's okay. But like you should also be a priority in your life. I don't know why I almost said already. You should already be a priority in your life. Maybe you are, but you should also be a priority in your life. And I feel like the more you make yourself a priority, the more you project yourself in that way, the more you will draw to you the things that will build with you rather than just straight up requiring you to assemble them, right? So, and then it's almost like this revolving door type energy. They'll give you some lasting power, some standing power. So I hope that resonated for you, Virgo. If it did, you're welcome. If it didn't, that's unfortunate. Maybe you'll find something else that does. I hope you have a good whatever whenever you see this, and I hope you're acting in alignment to make better your reality. And I feel like on a certain energetic level, it's kind of sort of already there for you, Virgo. It's just time for you to start making those choices and decisions and acting in that way at the same time. And you're gonna be so bright. They're gonna be like, "Oh snap!" You'd be like, "New Virgo, who this?" Or not? I don't know. Have a good one. Hey Pisces, what's up? How y'all doing today? How y'all doing tonight? How y'all doing? Whatever y'all see this. I hope you're well. We got the Knight of Cups, which is your energy. We got the Moon, which is your energy. We got the Two of Cups, which ain't your energy necessarily, but it's water, so it's your element. And then we have the Ace of Wands. Now, when Pisces energy can hold that Ace of Wands, magic happens. Because I feel like that's the ability to actually bring your dreams and your fantasies and your creations into reality. But it may be time to, I want to say up your creative game a little bit, or just to like get back in it, right? Practice makes perfect type energy. Let's just dive right into this, Pisces, and let's see what's up with you. We're actually going to start with the affirmator first because I'm feeling it. Oh, well, you got judgment. Hold up, wait. So far, all major arcana has come out. Gemini had the Sun and the Hangman. Virgo had the Lovers. You have Judgment. Judgment is an interesting card for you, Pisces. Because I feel like Pisces energy is in a space of evaluation right now. It's almost like, in some way, Pisces energy is carrying the weight of all sort of like collective unfulfilled dreams. And you may say, oh, that's a lot for Pisces to carry. But also, Pisces is like, 12th house energy, Neptune ruled, and also Jupiter. Let's not forget Jupiter. Um, but it's very much that energy. It's almost that space of thought, that realm beyond and behind realms, the behind the scenes realm, that realm where, like I said, thoughts exist. And so that's how back in the day you would have discoveries or inventions that would happen in different parts of the world at roughly the same time, because that's the plane that they all sort of float on. And then Pisces is that sort of not gatekeeper, but it's like you have that natural connect. And with us sort of wrapping up the age of Pisces and coming into the age of Aquarius, I feel like there is a little bit of responsibility on Piscean energy for something. I don't know what this judgment is. Maybe you judge yourself a little too harshly and you need to be easier on yourself. Also, we have the rat here in this card. It's the year of the rat and it's 2020. Judgment. Like, what? You could be a rat, a year of the rat, Pisces. Potentially. I don't necessarily think so. What are some characteristics of the rat? I don't remember, but I think the rat was the one that rode on the back of the horse, or some animal. Was it the dog? No, I think it was a horse. The rat rode on the back of the horse, and then it placed earlier, because if it wouldn't have done that, then it would have placed like maybe last. In the zodiac race, Chinese zodiac, they had a race, and the order that they finished in is the order that we go through the animals. Um, and so there is a need to kind of sort of be resourceful here. Maybe not necessarily in a like taking advantage type of way, but a need to sort of look at your situation and to allow that Piscean mind to connect you to the path that brings it into fruition. But I think honestly, this judgment, it's feeling like your ability to kind of sort of step up and make those things a reality, and to take them out of this space of things that you just dream about. So we're gonna do all three at once. You got the Two of Wands, the Queen of Cups, and the Knight of Wands. So that's what Aries, Sagittarius, and Cancerian energy. Queen of Cups is pre-High Priestess energy. The Knight of Wands in this deck is all about moving forward with kindness and compassion. The Queen of Cups could be about receiving a vision, and then the Two of Wands is not knowing how to go about it. Because the Queen of Cups isn't the High Priestess. She doesn't know everything. This is interesting because it almost feels like it's more about how you do what you do right now than what you do in a way. Your energy precedes you, and there's this energy of things being unwound, untwisted, unknotted, like a hose. And as the hose is unknotted, it, increases the flow. It allows things to flow because sometimes a little bit of pressure can increase the flow, right? But too much pressure will stop it. But that's what I'm seeing here. Here, it's like I'm seeing it. It's more about how you go about doing what you're doing than like whether or not you're doing the right thing. Karma bank, like in the process of building up good karma, but it isn't necessarily about building good karma. It's more about aligning yourself to a certain frequency. It also feels like there's a great blessing on the edge of your experience that might require that good karma in order for you to get it. But again, it's like it requires that good karma in a way that isn't necessarily transactional. It's just it puts you in a space to align with it, to resonate at that frequency and for it to come in. It's like if you are closed off or a little harsh or Brill. I don't even think Brill is a word, but I guess it reminds me of like a Brillo pad. A Brillo pad. Abrasive. If you're abrasive, then it's like it's not going to approach you. I feel like there's a need for you to return to your heart and to be that open, vulnerable, loving type of energy. That was kind of sort of lost to time. Um, because maybe with this judgment card, you deemed it as a luxury that a lot of people proved that the world wasn't ready to have or whatever. But again, I feel like that's why it's important. And with this Knight of Pentacles, it's also about empowerment. And maybe you got to empower yourself before you can empower other people. Also, it's time to be decisive. I know I just said it's more about how you do what you do than what you do. So I feel like, in a way, like no matter what you do, as long as you're navigating in the right way, you'll be moving in the correct direction. So there's also a need, I feel like, to let past times be past times and to come into new times with this judgment energy again. Because maybe there is this internal, or it's potential, there could be this internal struggle between like the you who is super giving and super nice and super available, but then like the part of you that remembers getting burned and used and left for whatever. But again, I feel like how you move forward right now is going to be really important because that energy is going to attract more energy of its kind. That's why you want to be putting out good energy. That's why it's more like about the energy that you put out rather than just like banking good karma in a way. But I guess it's kind of sort of the same. I don't know, Pisces. But that's what I got. I hope this finds some kind of resonance for you, and I hope you're having a good whatever whenever you see this, and I hope you're acting in alignment to make it even better, because for those who believe in better and act in alignment with better, better happens, like all the time. Or a lot of times, at the very least. So I will catch you later, Pisces. All right, Saggies. Sagittarius is last but not least. It's y'all guys and girls and non-binary pals. Guys, gals, and non-binary pals. Why did I just take a deep breath? Why did I just take a deep breath, Sagittarius? Why did I just feel compelled to take that deep breath? I don't know. That's weird. Okay, Sagittarius. I'm a little concerned. But that's fine. And like, I'm not doing Sagittarius last because it just happened to work out this way. Okay. I mean, y'all got the angel, which is y'all's card, so I thought it was only fitting, right? It's not personal, Sagittarius. I promise. I know I could be a little harsh on Sagittarius sometimes, but I feel like it's because of the Jupiter in me and the Jupiter in you. Like the Jupiter in me is like, let's expand on the unprovable, the unseen, the unknowable. And then Sagittarian a lot of times could be building upon things that we already know, even in spiritual ways. Um, but it's like the light and the dark side of Jupiter, the feminine and the masculine side of Jupiter. Both expansive, both amazing. But you know, we clash sometimes, just because we have slightly different ways about going about stuff. But we teach each other, right? And so maybe there's an element of you needing to integrate a little bit more Piscean energy, being a little bit more open-minded, but not like laterally open, like open in this way and not just in that way, because that's your natural way of expansion. That's the arrow, right? Shooting through the sky, but also like widen that thing a little bit, just a little bit. And you may find that if you open up the blinds a little bit, you'll get a certain wavelength of light that comes in that you didn't before. It's giving me, I guess, like a low pass filter, but it's not a low pass filter vibe. I feel like there's some noise that you've been filtering out of your life, but you may come to find here soon, or maybe you found recently, that there's actually a little bit of a method to the madness, a rhyme to the reason, or something of that nature. Like there's something of value in here. But I don't know. You know, we'll see. We'll see what comes up. We'll see what comes up, Sag. Okay. First card is the King of Wands. I feel like the King of Wands is typically Leo energy. So that would be interesting because we had the Sun here in the affirmators. We got the Sun here in the Pride Tarot, and then we have the King of Wands, which is a Leo energy correlation to the Sun. Pisces ain't get a Sun. Well, they got no, that's Judgment. It comes after the Sun. But with this King of Wands here, I feel like this is an elevation of Sagittarian energy. I feel like this is you having the opportunity to come into a greater version of yourself. And it's also interesting in this deck that the King of Wands is actually a woman. And so, again, I feel like Sagittarian energy can be heady, which is like default masculine, and Piscean energy can be more fantastic, which is like default feminine. Because default masculine, it's more about expressing the things that we kind of sort of already know. Default feminine is about receiving things that we may not. And so I feel like to really come to the next level, you're gonna have to learn to receive in some way. Maybe some way that you've been resistant to. You're gonna have to relax the bounds on what is and what isn't possible, real, realistic, or worthy of your time. Right? Because when you step into full royal energy, it's like this energy of like things that you have to do, regardless of how much you want to do them or how sort of beneficial you think they will be, right? Because it's not necessarily about competition, even though this is a Leo energy. But it kind of sort of is when it comes to the space of innovation. And I feel like Sagittarian energy is, and with Aquarian energy, maybe that's why y'all sextile. Um, it is about that expansion and that elevation. But it's almost like to continue to do that, you're going to have to incorporate something that you may not currently see as viable, legitimate, or beneficial. I don't know. Next card is the Five of Cups. I feel like this isn't. This speaks of vulnerability, and with this jacket here, there's this energy of putting something on to seem tougher, to seem like you know more than you actually do. And it's not that you don't, but there's a question of, I guess, the lengths that you go to remain right or to feel like you're right in a certain situation. Now, this Sagittarian kind of sort of is carrying a lot of collective energy right now because the South Node is in Sagittarius. So it's almost carrying like pieces of the collective shadow. Almost. But with the Five of Cups, I feel like this is talking about who you are on the inside under the armor of that knowledge. I don't know. What's the third card? The Five of Pentacles. The Five of Cups and the Five of Pentacles. Saw those two recently. Um, I feel like I should mention Mars went direct for some reason. Mars going direct in Aries means that it's going to trine the South Node again. The Sun is about to go into Sagittarius here fairly soon. And I guess the space where the Sun conjuncts the South Node. In the space where the Sun conjuncts the South Node, I feel like there may be, and maybe that's what this is related to. Maybe it's going to be the case that whatever has been holding you back will be illuminated. And I think you might find out that it's been you in some way. Or something that you put your trust in, something that you thought was sort of ineffable, you're going to find out is very effable. And then we have the Page of Swords, which is all about new thoughts, new ideas, writing, new. I feel like instead of diving so heavy into the sort of like theory behind things, it's time for you to get out and be a little bit more hands on, right? I feel like it's a time to actually be more experimental. If there's something that you told yourself that I'm like, I can be extremely picky. I'm like, oh, but I don't like that. And then somebody will be like, have you ever tried it? And I'll be like, no, but I don't have to try it to know that I don't like it. Maybe you're not like that, but, well, maybe you're not because Sagittarius can be like the explorer, right? The more globally conscious one. My North Node is actually in Sag, so. Hey. Anyway, it almost feels like you writing your own books. But you can't do that when you're so heavily rooted in everything outside of you. Sagittarius is the energy that precedes Capricorn. It's the energy that succeeds Capricorn, nodally, because that goes retrograde through the zodiac. And so I feel like there's this back and forth energy. It almost feels like there's something that you're trying to build and rebuild, renovate. And it's like at a certain point, you would save time if you just let it go and you built something new. Or if you just like tear it down and build up new, right? If your car keeps breaking down, eventually you're going to reach the point where you've put so much money into it that you could have gotten a different car, right? Maybe not one that's brand new, but you could have got a car that would roughly be covered by the amount of money that you put into the old car, and you wouldn't have to constantly keep putting money into it. But this car is like your mind. It's your mindset. It's how you go from point A to point B. Something in here is in the space of needing to change. Something here doesn't serve you anymore. I feel like something used to serve you very, very well, but you're reaching the point where it's not as much anymore because there's new information. Because again, coming into that King of Wands energy, it's about leveling up. But this King of Wands, it's like this, it's almost like a respect for the knowledge that you have within yourself that isn't necessarily like circulating. It's almost like a respect for the storehouse of information that you are and that you have access to, and not what is like sort of publicly or even privately available. I feel like it's time for Sagittarius to build a foundation based on Sagittarius, not based on popular belief or what is accepted or what has been proven. Because honestly, I don't want to say you're better than that, but you have more to offer. And as long as you continue to silence yourself for what already is, it's almost like you'll never quite reach what you're supposed to. So that's what I got for you, Sag. All the best. And like, I feel like the wealth of information that you can find inside is much more vast than anything than you'll find on the outside. And it's almost like it comes easier. It'll come more naturally. It'll be things that sort of naturally prove themselves to you in really tangible ways. I feel like Sagittarius has the opportunity to really come into a magician type energy. But it's not a magician by any school of magic currently being taught. It's yours. It's you. It's your gifts. It's your abilities. It's your suite of skills that you are uniquely capable of using in a certain way to make a certain thing happen. And I feel like almost like Pisces, it's like you're bringing something into reality. It's like you're changing the rules of the game somehow. But you can't change the rules of the game if you keep playing by and abiding by the rules of the game. I don't know. That's awesome. Whatever that is, because I feel like Sag would be able to do it in a way that Pisces can't. And at least when Sag does it, I feel like they can explain it. Instead of Pisces just being like, you just feel it and then you do this and then you feel it a little bit more and then boom, it just happens. And it's like, what? Sag is like, let me break it down for you. I really like that for Sag. So, again, I hope y'all have a good whatever whenever you see this, and I hope you're acting in alignment to make better your reality because it's possible. If anybody could do it, Sag could probably do it. If Sag isn't in Sag's own way. But a lot of signs can be in their own way. It's not a uniquely Sagittarius thing. But I just feel like the energy of Sagittarius is being called to a little bit more right now, especially with Jupiter about to exit Capricorn and go into Aquarius, where it's not going to be at like detriment, right? So that's what I got for y'all. Catch you later. Alright, if you've reached this part of the video, then you probably know what this is about. It's time for that final shuffle, where I see if there's anything else that wants to come out of these cards before I put them away, just to clear anything up that needs to be cleared up, or whatever, you know? I don't know. Ooh, a star at the bottom of the deck. I love that. So let's get into this, shall we? Final message from the Pride Tarot. That was interesting. Like I said, mutable signs, in-betweeners. I'm so immature sometimes. It's time for mutable signs to... I feel like mutable signs in some ways are bringing in things from the next cycle as other energies are... Well, maybe there's this like... It's like if cardinal signs are bringing in the new stuff and fixed signs are closing out the old things, then mutable signs are the ones that are sort of bringing in and closing out and rebalancing. It's almost like setting the flow, right? Setting equilibrium, setting the rate at which things can traverse that gap. So, can I get one of these, please? 5 more, 4 more, 3 more, 2 more, 1 more. Ooh, we got the Seven of Swords, which was at the bottom of the deck in the SKT. Bottom of the deck, though, is the Hermit again. Hermit's still at the bottom over here. I feel like for mutable signs, it's reaching that point where it's almost like, why did robbing Peter to pay Paul? Pop into my mind, it is not robbing Peter to pay Paul. Again, it's like if mutable signs set equilibrium, if mutable signs sort of hold these spaces open for everything else to do their work, to flow in and to flow out and to change and to do whatever, then I feel like, honestly, this is about finding a root blockage or a root issue. This is about getting to the heart of what keeps us from moving forward, what keeps us from being vulnerable, what keeps us from being open, what keeps us from being able to receive. Right? Because it's like trying to carry more than you can hold. And along the way, you might drop some things. But I feel like we don't have to do that. Maybe some scarcity, some lack mentality, thinking that something isn't going to be something isn't going to happen, or something isn't enough. Maybe thinking that you're not enough. Hopefully not. Something feels limited. Maybe even time. Maybe patience. Maybe our ability to sort of continue to cope with the current sort of state of the world for some people. But it feels like getting to the... Why do these not want to shuffle? To the root of... Those still didn't want to shuffle. To the root of those resistances. Because if you can't receive, it almost doesn't matter how effectively you word whatever it is that you're trying to get out there. It's like it almost doesn't matter how well you manifest things if you can't receive them. Two of Pentacles. It's like there's this energy that you can't hold on to the past and embrace the future at the same time. And I feel like being in a space of doing both, it's like you practice or you trained with this down here, but pretty soon it's going to reach that point where this is no longer effective. Also, going up a weight class. Oh, well, bottom of the deck is judgment. Here's 20. Here's 2. 2 20s, 20, 20. Hey, look at this. Look at this. We got that. And then we got 2 of them with this bridge on the in between. 2 of Pentacles. Which world are you going to align to? What are your thoughts and beliefs leading you towards? And more importantly than your thoughts and beliefs, like what are your actions leading you towards? Ooh, okay. Excellent question. But we're navigating this space of transition right now, so, in-betweeners. Y'all got this. I feel like today may have been a little vague, but that's fine. Maybe it's just because I didn't spend like I don't know, 50 minutes on each one. Okay, SKT, let's see what's up. I would love 2 cards to go a little keychain. I think that'd be really cute. I think 2 cards would be so cute. Alright. We're going to do 10 until something comes out. 9. 8. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1 more. Happy New Year. Oh, is that the bottom? I'll take this one. And this one, I guess. Oh, well, we got 3. It's the Archangel of Mysteries. With the Malays, the 9 of Wands at the bottom of the deck. This is the moon in Sagittarius. And the moon is probably in Sagittarius right now because we literally just had that new moon in Scorpio last night. Let's see. Yep, moon in Sagittarius, 7 degrees. It's going to be conjuncting that south node here pretty soon. And the vertex is also at 20 degrees. Interesting. Okay. So we got the Archangel Commander and the Demiurge. With the Archangel of Mysteries. And the Malays. Honestly, this feels like the energy of something is about to come in soon. But we're almost sort of reaching the end of our rope in some ways. But if we can hold on, it'll be fulfilled. They say that things happen in mysterious ways. Sometimes it is when we are in a space to detach from something that it finally comes in. It's almost like this sense of anticipation that builds itself. As long as you want it, you will continue to want it. It's like something that it's like it wants to be. It's almost this energy of like liking the fantasy more than the reality. It's like, oh, well, maybe you wouldn't actually like me if you knew me. Right now you have a certain image in your head that may be better. But I feel like the image that we have in our heads, I don't want to say it's worse. I feel like there is this perceived element of difficulty here. And maybe it's because things are slowing down. And it looks like we're about to be heading back into another wave of lockdowns, at least here in the US. Other countries, some have already been on a second or maybe even a third, maybe, I don't know, wave of lockdowns. But it's almost this reminder that if we don't address or face or solve our problems, they only get worse. And I feel like the Archangel Commander, I feel like it's like a call to action to take charge in the things that we need to take charge of and to no longer sort of let them passively sort of build or even potentially pass us by, to bring it out of the space of mystery and to make it known, but not in any almost tangible way. Because troubles don't last always, right? Now I'm going to look at the I Ching and we will be done for today. Yeah, that's that energy. That is so interesting now that it does that. So I'm going to take this to be the King of Swords over the Four of Wands, which is Heaven over Thunder. This will be interesting. Maybe. Heaven over Thunder is number 25, Innocence. I think this one might be new. I think Innocence might be new, y'all. This is pure intention and innocence. Undertake your endeavor with the innocence of the sky's thunder, formidable, yet with neither good nor evil intentions. The thunder is innocent, rolling and striking without falsity. Likewise, your endeavor should be one undertaken out of ambition or the need for personal validation. It should be? Should not be. Okay, I was like, hold up, I think I missed a word. Likewise, your endeavor should not be one undertaken out of ambition or the need for personal validation. Along your journey, you may encounter bandits. Do not change your direction. Do not resist the bandits, but do not respond to them either. Just let it be and embody innocence. It is the initiation of creative expansion, though. It is the initiation of creative expansion, though long journeys are unfavorable at this time. And this is Wu Wang. Okay. I like that. And that's it. I was going to try to add a little extra layer of interpretation on that, but I don't think I will. I'm curious. Oh, the Page of Cups. Stronghold of the Grail. There's almost this energy. It reminds me of being good for goodness sake, right? It's like there was a certain period where we were doing whatever for a certain reason. And there's a question of, okay, you just found out that Santa Claus isn't real. But does Santa Claus not being real mean that you're gonna like be naughty now, or are you gonna continue to be good? If you continue to be good, then you'll get presents. But again, there's this energy of like, and maybe that's the bandits. Maybe 2020 is the bandit that is coming to rob us of our dreams and manifestations. But again, it's like we have to realize where the source of all of that comes from. And the source of all of that is greater than the circumstances and situations that we encounter. And so call it foolhardy, call it whatever you will. But it's like if you give up the vision, then who else, what else will there be to bring it in? And I feel like that's perfect for that Moon, Knight of Cups, Ace of Wands, sitting on top of... Oh, I don't remember the card. I don't remember the affirmator. Oh, I don't remember what it was. But I feel like it echoes that energy. Again, with the moon card and the Witch's Tarot, holding that Ace of Wands. The moon is a satellite. The moon is not a luminary. It cannot reflect back to us anything that we don't put out to shine. And so if we would dim ourselves, then it plunges our own internal world into darkness. And that's the only world we can really have any sort of control over, or that we have any real sort of responsibility over. But it's like, again, it comes in this space of things that we allow to, things that we permit. What we permit persists. And ignoring it isn't going to make it go away. In fact, ignoring it will probably make it worse. I'm going to wish that you had just solved it the first time. I've been there so many times, but that's what I got. I hope you have a good whatever whenever you see this again, and I hope you're acting in alignment to make it even better, because for those who believe in and act in alignment with and accordance to better, the best, and miraculous things, miracles happen every day. Oh, and like BT dubs, so you're gonna see the actual shuffle here now. I don't think I mentioned it, but I don't have any transitions in this, or at least I haven't found the transitions yet. So consider this the transition. Hello, everyone. Welcome in. I don't know who I'm reading yet. So I have a D4 on the table. I'm gonna roll it, and then we'll see what we're doing. I'm gonna use the SKT as significators. And then I'm going to pull 3 of the Pride Tarot and then 1 of the Affirmators. I could have set this all up before I started, but I didn't want to do that. And I think what I'm going to end up doing is, since this requires a fair amount of setup, I'm going to use the little built-in video editor. Couldn't find any transitions, so there won't be any transitions, unfortunately. But I'm going to put this part of the video at the end, and then I'll upload it. And timestamps are going to be in the description box. I'm just going to give these a few shuffles. And I know I could have done all this before I came on, but I feel like this is part of the process. Also, I brought down the little selenite ball today because, you know, we got room. And it's basically decorative. I don't really... Ooh! Hold up. Oh, that's the 6 of Swords. Okay. So if 1 comes up, I'm going to do cardinal signs. If 2 comes up, that's going to be fixed signs. 3 is going to be mutable signs. And then 4 is going to be by element. And if it's by element, then I'll roll again, with 1 being water, 2 being earth, 3 being air, and 4 being fire. And I think I may do this sporadically here and there, and if it comes out the same element multiple times, then it just comes out the same element multiple times. Or like if it's all cardinal sign, then I guess all you're going to do in this cardinal signs, look and see where your cardinal houses are, or something like that. I don't know. Okay, just a few more. I don't know why I'm shuffling these like I'm about to pull them right now. It's not like I'm not going to shuffle them again. I actually use them. And then this one, I'm only going to give it like a few shuffles, because this one I'm only using as significators. Oh, well, there's the keeper. So I'm not actually like pulling these, just anchoring energy into the... Ooh, now the initiate is at the cut. Where's the seeker? Seek and ye shall find. Okay. All right. So let's go. We got number 3, mutable signs. Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces. Starting at the bottom of the deck, we have the 3 of Cups, the Knight of Swords, and the 10 of Pentacles. The Ten of Orbs, Three of Chalices. So we have the Kindred, the Shining Winds, and the Dynasty. There's an energy here of the beginnings of something long-standing coming in. But, and then with the Six of Pentacles here, it's like this is the beginning. But the number of pentacles we get, and it's like out of 10, right? We can get all 10 out of 10 with whatever this endeavor is or this part of our experience that we're about to come into. It's almost going to depend on our ability to sort of navigate it in, it's like by means of like rising to the occasion and being vocal and seeking it out. I don't know what it is, but so we're going to be looking for the angel. Oh, here's Virgo. Nice. The angel, which is Temperance, which is Sagittarius. I didn't even think about that. So for Cardinal, it's the Chariot. For, that's fine. Cardinal is the Chariot. Fixed is the World. Mutable, here's Pisces. Mutable is, here's Sagittarius. So I'm actually going to take the Knight of Wands in place of Sagittarius because and then here's Gemini. Oh, look at that. Okay. Oops. Ooh, the Ace of Swords just flipped over. Knight of Wands. I think we've seen all of them except for the Knight of Wands. So yeah, Chariot is cardinal, Temperance is mutable, the World is fixed, and then for each sign corresponding, to the majors. Oh, it went down. What's that? Preceding the Ace of Wands. Something about these aces. Did I already pass the Knight of Wands? If I did, then I guess... No, here it is right here. Okay. So the last three cards, the King of Wands, the Necromancer, are Archangel of Glory, the Necromancer, and the Rogue. So those first three, this may be something that maybe we've kind of sort of given up on, or something that we sort of deemed as not... I don't want to say realistic. Maybe we've given up on it. And I guess this is how we're going to do these. So we're going to start up here with these in general. I'm kind of figuring this out as I go along. That's like 90% of the videos on this channel. Right? Ooh, I hope I don't knock that thing off. So we'll do 3 for 3. And then we'll do the same. Oh, that's 3 cards. Nah. I think Chino just came back here. Okay. Work. Is that all 3 for Gemini? That's only 2. Gemini, you only getting 2. And this part is at the end of the video too. Okay. guess these three for Sag. I ain't even getting to do whatever. I guess I'm gonna talk today. 1, 2, 3. Thank you, Virgo, for following the procedure. And then we'll get 3 for Pisces. Okay. Bottom of the deck is the Hermit. It was the first card that came out. And we got 3 cards. Exactly. In the future, I might do all this off camera and then just start the video, but we'll see. We'll see. Now, this one is going to be interesting because I only want one of these. I'll pull these from the bottom. Okay. Is this 2? Hey, Gemini got 2, making up for the ones, for the 1 that I didn't get. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. For Virgo. And then 1, 2, 3 for Pisces. The last card being, the Wheel of Fortune, Jupiter, ruler of Sagittarius. And I guess mutable in that, right? Sagittarius and Pisces. So, what is Saturn? Aquarius and Capricorn. Okay. So we have the Rogue, 7 of Swords, the Hermit, and the Wheel of Fortune. I feel like kind of sort of going back to those first 3 cards out, to sort of be absent and the next upcoming whatever is to miss out. And we don't want to do that. So this is where I'm going to end this, and then we're going to start into the video. But you'll see this part last, so it won't even matter. If I get this looking a little prettier. There we go. All right.